It's got to be real.
Be real. Be real. Yes, guys, what's going on? So today we've got with us Steve Cunningham. Steve, how you doing, my brother? You good?
Yep, doing really good.
Now, Steve, before we go into boxing, I want to talk about a more serious issue in your life, if that's all right, about your beautiful daughter. Could you please explain to Be Real TV and all our viewers out there what the situation has been with her and what you need, and in what way can everyone help you out?
Oh, well, my daughter Kennedy, she's 8 years right now, and she was born with a heart condition called hypoplastic left heart syndrome, where she needed 3 surgeries to cure, but after 2 surgeries, the doctors told her that, told us, after 2 surgeries in, I guess, 8 years, we're waiting on the last surgery. They told us she wasn't a candidate for the surgeries, that she needed a transplant.
Yeah.
Then we go get on the transplant team, and the doctors are looking at her and checking her out, and they find another issue with her, and they're saying she's not a candidate either for the transplant, so there was nothing else to do but take her home and make her comfortable. So, until heart failure, so that was during my last training camp in April, and late March. So we found that news out, but we went and got a second opinion, and we found the hospital that said that they believe they can do something, and that's where we're working at right now. We're basically on now. We're finally on the heart transplant list in the hospital of Pittsburgh, and we've just been after the transplant. Being on the transplant list, you can basically get called at any moment. So we've got I think 4.5 hours to get there, and we're about 4 hours away. So our plan is to move to Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh is literally across the state, from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I mean, from Philadelphia. So we're in Pennsylvania. So we started a fund just to basically help us in the move and the other care that Kennedy needs once she comes home from the transplant, because we have to literally uproot the whole entire family and move to Pittsburgh for about a year. So for about 8 months to a year. So we've put the fund out, and people have been showing much love and caring and really giving us support, man, and helping us out. Showing real concern and care for Kennedy.
For sure, brother. Now, you know what it is? If we can help you in any way, I mean, after this interview, if you could copy and paste me the link on Twitter, brother, I will gladly put it to all my viewers, and hopefully all the viewers, whatever you can do, whatever you can donate, it's for a real good cause. My brother over here, we'd really appreciate that. And also, I'm a Muslim, and I'm a firm believer in God, and I pray to Allah that, she recovers as quickly as possible and gets back to 100% health, my brother.
All right, man. Thank you very much. No doubt.
Now, Steve, moving on, talking a little bit about your boxing now. You've come off a strong win to Amir Mansour. He's a good fighter. He was undefeated before he faced you, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Now, do you plan on going back into the ring anytime soon? And if you do, who are you looking at as an opponent for yourself next?
Well, I mean, yeah, we want to fight ASAP. We've been talking with our promoter, a lot, trying to see what path, what idea they have, and we trying to let them know what idea we have. It's I don't know, it's the heavyweight division is in shambles right now, so there's not a lot of and you got a lot of heavyweights that don't want to fight guys. You got a lot of guys. Everybody's trying to get rich off of one fight. People not trying to put it on the line. They just want to put it on the line for the big money, for the big shot at Vladimir or whatever. But I mean, for me personally, you guys know me. You know my resume. You see my resume. You see me. I fight whoever. If it can get me closer to the goal, I'll fight them. So that's the thing. It's just us really sitting down and making a direction. But I want to get in the ring before. I wanted to get in the ring before the end of the summer, but I don't know if that's going to happen. or possibly October. I want to fight at least 2 times before the end of the year. If we could, I'd do it.
Right. Now, speaking of your resume, one of the fighters you fought, knocked down, was, a friend of mine, one of my boys, one of a person I like is Tyson Fury. He's got a fight coming up against a Ukrainian fighter from Belarus, and the guy he's fighting, he's a big guy. But what do you think of Tyson Fury as a fighter, and do you think that he can pull this fight off against this guy?
Yeah, I've seen Usyk fight before, and we've watched them. Of course, I've been all over the world, and I've seen him fight before. I believe Fury is more athletic and has more boxing ability in him than Usyk. At that size, Fury fighting a guy his size that's not athletic and doesn't have the ability that Fury has. I think they lose. I think he's going to beat Usyk. Tyson Fury, like when me and Tyson fought, he wanted to box and box on the outside, and that really wasn't a good idea for him to fight with me like that, because I'm much faster and smaller and sharper and I'm strong, but and you see what he did. He realized that he adjusted, and he started being the big man, leaning, pushing, doing what it took to get the win. So, and he got the KO victory, and I don't see another big guy his size outdoing him. I think Tyson. I've been to camp with Tyson for 4 weeks. Tyson's a very athletic, big guy. If you can get past his mouth and all the stuff he says, he's a pretty good athlete.
Yeah, for sure. Now, you've touched a little bit upon you were the smaller fighter in that fight, and what I wanted to ask you, you're not a big heavyweight. Why have you chosen to fight at heavyweight? I mean, you could easily, in my opinion anyway, I don't know if you can, but you could make a cruiserweight quite comfortably. Is it because of the money that you choose to fight at the heavyweight division, because there's more fighters there? What's the reason that you are fighting at heavyweight?
Well, I mean, to tell you the truth, I kind of was forced into the heavyweight division. It was either fight heavyweight, I couldn't go light heavyweight, or retire, because, at the time I was 2-time IBF cruiserweight champion. Right before I fought Hernandez the first time, me and my team were talking about moving to heavyweight because I signed with Sauerland Promotions to get the unification bout with Marco Huck. I stopped Marco Huck in the 12th round in 2007. And I signed with them in hopes of getting a lucrative unification bout, and I thought they wanted it also. So, and knowing I was going to Germany, I knew that Sauerland really wanted, I knew that they wanted my belt. No doubt, this is a business. They wanted the belt, but I felt I could beat every cruiserweight in the world. I thought I was the best cruiserweight in the world, and everybody on their resume I felt I could beat. So, but then the fight with Hernandez happened, and I kind of before that, we were trying to unify with other champions, Guillermo Jones and Krzysztof Ledarczyk. And, I mean, these are guys that I already beat, before they were champions. Now they have belts, and it was just difficult to solidify a unification bout. And here it is. I'm stuck defending my title against mandatories, making no money. I was already making no money as a cruiserweight anyway, but, as a cruiserweight champion. But now I'm defending my title against mandatories. We weren't getting, the big television. We weren't getting, that attention. So it's like, hey, it's time to try to go for these unification bouts. But no one wanted to unify. So I took the chance to fight a Sauerland guy and Hernandez, the first fight, and that fight ended up fishy. I got the rematch. And I lost. I lost the rematch. I went over there. I fought angry. I fought without my head, and I was just mad at the whole situation. And after I lost, I was like, "There's nowhere for me to go in the cruiserweight division because guys wouldn't fight me with a belt." I had a world title. Now I don't have a world title, and I'm extremely hungry. Nobody would fight me, so I had to move up to heavyweight, in order to just spark up a new chapter in the career,
Yeah, now, Steve, just moving on from that, you're from Philadelphia, and Philadelphia has produced numerous boxers, great fighters. You've got Danny Garcia, you've got Bernard Hopkins, Tyrell Biggs, Joe Frazier, Meldrick Janus, Sonny Liston, and the list goes on and on. You've got yourself, and you've got the greatest of all time, the Italian stallion, Rocky Balboa. Why do you feel that so many boxers come from Philadelphia, and Philadelphia produces all these top fighters? What is it about Philly that produces these top boxing athletes?
But I mean, there's a thing in Philly, it's been there since I've been a kid. I mean, I don't see it that much now, but now the code is in the DNA, so it's going to be in the guys who are coming up. But I mean, Philly is a rough town. Was a really rough city. It's a very competitive city. There's a lot of outdoing in Philly that has to be done. Like guys wake up and they get dressed just to go to the store, and it's like they're getting dressed to go to the prom.
Yeah.
It's a competitive city. And like they say, the cream goes, always rises to the top. I mean, even in Philly now, that's why even when you get a guy who's a journeyman from Philly, he puts on a good show.
Yeah.
He'll possibly beat the guy. Because in the Philadelphia I came up in, there were gyms everywhere. Every park had a recreation center. We had the PALs, Police Athletic League. It was just boxing gyms everywhere, and you had to be good in order to get out of Philadelphia, to get out of the state and the regional tournaments. If the guy got out of that state and that regional tournament from Philly, you knew this guy was world-class caliber right here. So Philly just breeds competition, and being in the gym, like I'm in the gym with Carl Dargan, Bigfoot Whitmore, Bernard Hopkins sometimes, just all kind of guys, young guys that I'm looking at. I'm watching them. I'm stealing stuff from these guys, It's just a steel sharpens steel thing in Philly.
Cool. Now, Steve, thank you very much for your time, my brother. And you know what? I honestly, I wish you all the best. I wish you more than anything, more than boxing, brother. I wish your daughter the best. And we look forward to speaking to you soon, brother. And thank you very much from Be Real TV once again.